What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got some news for you. The Dolphins have restructured the contract of Albert Wilson. So, obviously that's one of the players that was potentially going to be cut or released. Obviously, they could still release him if they chose to, at the end of the day. But it's less likely now for sure since they re-signed him, which I think is awesome. And I think that that's a smart move. Because, again, I thought that, wide receiver was probably like the deepest position on the entire team, let alone the offense. And, I thought that with guys like Devontae Parker and Preston Williams, your bigger, receivers, go up and get it, guys. Devontae Parker finally had the season that we expected from him since we picked him in the 2015 first round of the draft. And Preston Williams showed some similar signs, right? So of potential to that kind of level. So if you have two guys like that with guys like, Albert Wilson and Jakeem Grant, who are faster, smaller guys, whatever, that can stretch the defenses, get deep, make guys miss, in the open field. And then guys like, Gesicki or whatever, who can, fit the seam, then there's definitely a lot of potential there. The offensive line is still going to be a major question mark until they prove themselves, as is the running back situation. And that could certainly hamper the entire offense. But, I'm glad that they definitely did restructure him. Let me get to the details really quick. So, as the restructure is, the Dolphins are likely to save $7 million. It appears to be just for the 1 year. The Dolphins and wide receiver Albert Wilson have agreed to a renegotiated deal for 2020 worth a base value of $3 million with $1 million more incentives. Wilson gets the chance to produce in a system he knows, then hit the market as a free agent next offseason. And so there is a good possibility that, next offseason he will, go somewhere else. But, depending on how things go this season, the NFL is certainly pushing as hard as they can to open up, the season at the start of things. So, which I think is going to be, you guys know how I feel. Anyway, look, it's good. It's definitely good. He's cheaper. They did need to clear up some cap space because they did fucking blow through it. And then, hopefully he does produce, and hopefully this team overall produces. And then, there will be a good conversation for why he should stay and so on and so forth. And because I want to build things. I want to not turn over the roster every fucking year. So, I want guys that I feel like are capable of helping this team and this franchise move forward to stay here. And that's part of why I like, I know people hate when I bring this up, but I really don't give a shit. I like Gase's approach. Pay the guys in-house. Build through the draft. Make sure you evaluate properly, manage the draft properly. You draft by need at position, but also best player available. It's a couple, it's a mixture of those things, right? And so, whatever. I really liked the draft that they had. I think that they're gonna, do well with those guys, and we'll see. But that's how I like it. That's that's part of why I like Gase, because I like that philosophy. I don't like the philosophy of, just doling out massive contracts to guys like Byron Jones who, don't produce turnovers. Yeah, okay, fine. He might be a bit of a lockdown corner. The problem is, though, is again, we're going to have some of the same issues for sure that we had last year. A young, inexperienced team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. New schemes, new coaches. A lot of those things are going to be there. If the offensive line doesn't play well, right? If let's say Austin Jackson and these guys that they brought in, Robert Hunt, and Ted Karras, and Eric Flowers, if they don't, if the rookies have, a learning curve, and if they have a hard time adjusting, or, don't, whatever, play so well their first season, and if, Eric Flowers does prove to be overpaid, and not produce to the level that they want, right, then, and the running backs, don't help anything out, and then the offense, squanders its opportunities, and the defense constantly has to be on the field like happened last year all the time, especially at the very beginning, then things can very quickly unravel. So sure, you could have Byron Jones and Xavier Howard and the redundant rookie cornerback that you brought in instead of the top safety in the draft. Right? You can have those guys, or you could even have the top safety in the draft. If your defense is on the fucking field the entire damn game because the offense sucks, well, then, you guys get the picture. You've seen it 100 times before, so it is what it is. Anyway, so, I'm glad for the signing. But, like I've said a million times, I have my concerns going forward. I hope that they get it together, and I hope that they can prove me wrong in how I feel like it's going to turn out, because my senses are that it's not going to end up panning out. And, this power structure, Greer to Flores, is going to get scapegoated because Stephen Ross can't ever, either own up to it or figure out that he's the problem, and it's his choices and decisions that are causing these issues. But anyway, so hopefully that's not the case. We probably won't know that for at least another, year or two. Traditionally, Stephen Ross gives the coach about a 3 to 3.5 year lifespan as the head coach of the team. So, we'll see. I think this year is going to be, a big year. I mean, I think it's going to be huge. Every year is going to be. Anyway, so we'll see how it plays out. I hope that they prove me wrong. I really do. But at the end of the day, like I said, hashtag prove it. They have to prove it. Prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my videos and perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And, of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. See y'all soon. Phins up.